you're not going to create an MMO in a year with 3 people or whatever. It's just not going to happen. So once you start cutting down your options like that, I think you can get to a potentially a realistic game design relatively quickly.
We started Red Wasp literally at home, so in our bedrooms.
There's got to be a certain amount of self-discipline because it is very easy to stay in bed and pontificate and not actually get the work done.
Yeah, I think it's really important to stay creative. You need to be able to try different things, and I think working with big publishers, like we all have in the past, you kind of feel a little bit held back. I think with not being able to expand on your ideas.
You have to maintain a certain amount of self-motivation, because if you don't get the work done, you're not getting paid, and it's as simple as that.
It's definitely a negotiation between the 3 of us what we were able to achieve, and that's much easier when it's a small company like that. So Mike could come up with an idea and say, I think this would make the game better. Initially I might moan about it because it means I have to do some work. But once we've got over that step, actually we can just do that, and we've not deliberately not announced the release date for the game we're working on now, and that is because, if you like, the kind of Blizzard approach, the Diablo 3, it will be ready when it's ready thing. But what it does mean is, rather than working to a publisher's deadline, and that deadline will be set by their financial realities of they need to get this game out this quarter so these profits show up for these shareholders, that's just not a concern for us. The concern for us is it a good game? And it will be ready when it's ready, because that's when the gameplay is right. And that's a real breath of fresh air to be working with now in comparison to the other model.
Important also, I think, to be realistic about what you can do within the time frame, and it's very easy to essentially have loads of great ideas for a game, but basically not really think about how much time you've actually got and what you can do in that time. And also, I'd say try and work out what share of the company everyone is genuinely happy with early on. I mean, us 3 have worked together for years, so we know each other well enough that I think I don't think any of us have made any assumptions that are inaccurate about the other 2. Whereas if you're only just starting to work with someone, I think you may not know what's going to happen. So get as much as you can down in writing early on, I'd say.
I totally agree. I mean, as soon as money's going to change hands, people forget conversations they've had, and that's not to denigrate. It's just when you're talking about something as it might be, this is how it might work out. That's very different when there's actually money on the table and somebody's got to pay a bill or you've made some money off something. Things change then, so it's good to agree it in a clearer atmosphere. I'd say the other things I think personally I think that are important is follow the ideas that you think are going to work. Don't try and go with what everybody else is doing. So there's a huge rush to premium, for example, and there's some great premium games out there. But just because lots of people are making money out of premium doesn't mean it's an easy ride. You can just step in and make it. Or they talk about the Angry Birds. We just have to make an Angry Birds, but with lizards and cats instead, and we'll be loaded. It just doesn't work like that. You have to have a vision for what you see as a great game, and you just hope that when you release that, there's enough other people that agree with you that that's a good vision for a game for you to be able to make a living out of it. And so, in a way, we've kind of got 2 aims with this. The first and most important is to make a game we're really happy with. And if we release that and we like that game, then in a way that's first mission accomplished. Whether that game then gets some critical success, which would be nice, and commercial success, which would be nice, they're always secondary to us, that we've got this vision. We're not chasing the market, we're not trying to second guess what we think will make money or get great reviews. We're just focused on what we think will work.